Hey, what's up? Today I'm gonna show you what I did in my 2 days in Oslo. I got two new things to play with, and also at the end of the video I'm gonna reveal something huge about this channel. I hope you stay tuned to that. I got a new watercolor notebook, and normally that watercolor pencils. So I'm gonna show you two sketches that I did. Here's the first sketch I did. I liked it, honestly. I really did like the colors that came out of it. I really liked how different it is to think when you're using watercolor pencils, and also the fact that you can see your sketch and just emphasize it, but you're emphasizing it with color and like the shadows, and I'll show the next one what I mean. This is the kind of stuff that I didn't really like from using the brush pens. Like I was trying to just kind of drag the paint down, but it was just like putting more and more water, and then it just created the cauliflower look. So there's a lot of lines that I just didn't go through, which is okay because it kind of gives it a feeling that it's actually trees down back there. But yeah, all in all, I really like this little sketch that I did. It's Slottsplassen in Oslo. And the next one is a painting from Amaldus Nilsen, which is a Norwegian romantic painter. I really love that kind of painting style. This was in oil, and also it was in a museum. And in the museum, they will not allow me to go in with water, like even in this sort of contained manner. And also they didn't allow me to have any sort of marker. So I was lucky that I had these with me so that I could do this painting in there. And the only downside with the watercolor pencils is that, or so far that I've found, is that, for example, I could only put the first layer on, because now that we're gonna add water, you're gonna see how it reveals everything. And then you probably have to wait for it to dry for you to add a second layer. So that's what we're gonna do now. And we're gonna see how well I did in knowing which colors were there, present. I am still getting used to the whole watercolor pencil, so that's also might be something to consider if this doesn't come out correctly. But yeah, let's get into it. Sorry for the super long intro, but let's do this. They said that I don't need that much water, so there you go. I'm just gonna move it around, bring it down. Gonna run out of water probably, which is okay. Gonna get more water just so this is a little bit more runny. What I was trying to do in the sky here is like put a little bit of yellow, because I needed to get some of those clouds, and I also added red to kind of get some sort of what's it called, orange going, so it was easier to mix the blues and the yellows. But as you can see, I didn't add enough red. There's a lot of yellow on top. This just looks like a huge line, so I'm just gonna try to blend a little bit more. Yeah. More water, clean water. So this scene was supposed to be like a little bit of either sunrise or sunset. I don't know if it's giving that sort of vibe right now, but we'll see when I get into the nitty-gritty. One thing I read for watercolor pencils is that you should go from light to dark, just like in watercolor. Like when you're activating the watercolor pencil's color, you should go first your lights and then your darks, which I found to be quite interesting. I'm not really being too careful right now because I just don't know what's the best way to approach this. And I also don't want any hard edges from like the sky to the mountains here, or this hills. So I'm trying to move as quick as I can. I should probably finish this here, which was like the end of the sky, and then there was like a cloud here that I added. And it's not getting the right color that I wanted, but I can just bring it up here and see what that does. Like that. Don't overdo it. Going back. This is just such a different kind of process that I'm not used to. I usually have the whole layer of lights first, and then I add darker and darker stuff, just like the standard procedure that you would do for watercolor. This of like having the lights and darks at the same time being activated is quite new and interesting at the same time. And now I'm creating hard edges here, and I don't like that. Don't know what happened there. I think I didn't add enough paint. This is annoying. There you go. That was a very hard shadow here, so I'm okay if it fuzzes with the sky and a little bit with the mountain. But apparently it doesn't fuzz as much as I thought it would. But yeah, it's getting somewhere. I'm gonna add these things right now. There's supposed to be some houses here, but I really didn't go super detailed on it. I wasn't really interested in all the detail. I was interested mostly on capturing the color, the glow that this guy achieved in his painting. Don't know if that's coming through. That's supposed to be dark, so I have to clean up my brush. It's definitely hard. It's not like walking in the park. You just like, you know, walk with, move your brush around and that's done. You have to really be considerate of like what you're activating and when you're activating it. This was the side of the house that actually was catching the light. Same as this one. I feel like you can only dab once or twice before you actually take off the color. So I just did there on the roof. And I think I'm adding way too much water because I'm having the same effect that I was having before. So we're just gonna bring it down here. But at the same time, I have to remember this is only the first layer. So there's that to consider. Leaving some gaps because those were lighter parts as seen in the painting. This was completely dark if I remember correctly. It's also a shame that I couldn't just keep going right there when I had the reference. But it's coming out pretty okay. wipe it off, activate this, move to the next part. That looks way too light, but it's okay. Moving on to the back. Probably I don't want the hard edge there, but I'm just gonna have to accept it. This was supposed to be a distant mountain, but I'm pretty sure it's not gonna come or not gonna read like that. Especially now because of that hard edge from the cloud. Oh, that was a lot of water. That was my bad. Okay. Just gonna run with it. Then this was a semi-lit mountain. This is the shadow of this mountain apparently, from what I could understand in the painting. And they were the people the videos I watched on how to paint with watercolor pencils, they were right. Like, you really don't need a lot of water to activate it and move things around. Quite finicky. I would say it's more finicky than regular watercolors, or maybe it's just because I'm not used to it. This is looking weird, but no matter. Just keep activating, letting colors run with each other. Nothing was super bright, so I'm not being too fussy about that. Probably with watercolor pencils would be better to have actually the color that you want, rather than trying to color mix by layering the colors themselves to achieve achieve the color that you want. So now we're gonna work on the water. It's definitely, it has such a weird character though. It's not coming anywhere close as what I was imagining it was gonna do. Just quite cool in any way. It's new, it's different, interesting. I thought I added enough indigo for this to be like super bright. I mean super dark, but apparently not. But I have to remind myself, this was the first wash. And this is supposed to be water, so let's hint at some water. Yeah, that did not work as I expected it. This is not supposed to be white. Everything here was a very warm color. And then some blue here from reflected from the sky. This was all reflecting this, so I guess it works in a way. There's some stuff missing here. Guess I just missed that spot. And of course we have some foreground objects which were very red and blue and stuff, but I guess the color combination that I used didn't really show it, or didn't really mix as I would want it to. Now we're gonna end with the figure there. That figure did have like a white t-shirt and stuff, but I mean, some things are okay if they're not preserved. Hopefully it reads like he's a guy in a boat. The yellow definitely was quite off, but I don't know, it makes the whole painting look quite different. Cool, I should say, if I may say so myself. I guess I may. It's supposed to be like a reflection, and this is supposed to be an ore. So I'm just pulling some of the other color there because I didn't actually add any color there. But yeah, I guess it came out quite cool. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think about this painting? Of course, it's not finished. It's, as I said, is the first layer, but I don't know. It was quite cool and magical to see how the watercolor pencils reacted, and yeah, and see what the result was of my sketching in real life. Some things seemed really cool, like the shadows, some nice preserved highlights, even though I thought it wasn't gonna be so preserved. Yeah, cool stuff. I mean, the water did not come out as I thought it was going to. I thought I added just enough of indigo like I did here, but apparently not, which I can just fix in the next layer. And yeah, if you want to see me finish this painting, leave me a comment below and I will make that video happen for you. And one more thing I wanted to say is that I am planning to make a watercolor course that is nothing like there is in YouTube, and I'm very confident on that. So stay tuned for that, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one.